All right, welcome to part 3 of these basic 3ds Max 2014 tutorials. In case you're wondering where that super ugly object went, I deleted it. We're going to start off new with a box. By the way, if you haven't watched the first 2 parts of the tutorial, I'm sure they're linked on the side. Okay, so we're going to go into the Create tab again. We're going to go to Box, and we're going to drag a little box out on our grid plane here. Okay, so now that we have a box, what we're going to do is we're going to add a material to it. So this is extremely important to know if you're rendering anything. If you want to put writing on something, if you want to put like bricks on, you want to make something bricks, you want to make anything, any material, you need to know how to add a material. So in order to do that, we need to open the material editor. There are 2 ways to do that. There's a shortcut here, and there is also under your rendering drop-down menu, 2 different material editors that you can choose from. We'll take a quick glance at the compact material editor. I don't use it because I think it's slightly oversimplified. Basically, this is your compact. It's kind of hard to add objects past this, past whatever this is, 24 or whatever. It gets confusing. So I like to use the Slate material editor also just because it's more intuitive for me. So what we're going to do is add a material to this box. We're going to start fresh with an Arc and Design material, which is what you want to use if you are using Mental Ray, if you're rendering with Mental Ray. You can drag in or double click and you'll get a new material here. It'll be shiny, which is sort of annoying because most of the time you're not making a shiny material. But you can just drag that reflectivity down to 0 under the reflection box here. Okay, so now that we have this, what we're going to do is assign it to this material, or assign it to this box here. And we know that we have it selected because it's highlighted in white. And then we're going to right-click on your material and assign material to selection. So now we have this gray box here, which isn't too exciting. So I'm going to show you how to add whatever image you want to your object. So under here you have your color and just diffuse menu here. So you can easily just change color like that, but what we're going to do is add an actual bitmap. So you click on this inconspicuous blank little square right here, and then click on bitmap, which should really just say image because that's more intuitive, but it's bitmap. Press OK. You'll probably be brought to these weird pre-existing textures. So what you want to do is just figure out where on your own computer the image that you want to put on here is. I'm just going to go with this random precast concrete thing because it'll illustrate just fine. Okay, so you press open once you found your material, and you will have it attached to, you'll have the texture attached to the material. But you'll notice that it's not visible in the viewport, and this is really annoying because most of the time you want it to be, so it should be the default, but it's not. Instead, you have to find this tiny little checker button with a light box and click it, and that will show the material in the viewport. Now, you can notice here that it's super small. It's tiny. The default for textures is 1 inch by 1 inch, which I will show you right now. If you click on your map, which is attached to your material, double click on that, and you will get the settings here. And you see the size right here is 1 inch. You can toggle between real world scale, which is inches, or just random units. And this default is 1 inch. I want to change it to something more like 5 feet. And that gives us something that actually makes sense. All right, so there you have it. That is how you add a very simple textures to things. The more complicated the object, the more difficult it gets. That goes into the UV texture mapping realm, which is a whole nother lesson for a different day. All right, thank you for watching.